Wake Up Guyana, only on Kaieteur Radio. Kaieteur Radio, the radio with a difference.
For 2020 be one to remember. Drive away with an Axio car from Predo Baby with 4 different options to win. Follow us on Facebook at Predo Baby South America. Predo Baby diaper is known for its premium quality and high absorbency level. It keeps your baby dry and comfortable with its stretchy waistband. Available in regular paste and pull-up pants style from newborn to stage 7. See press for details or contact us on 233-2473. Predo Baby, the diaper of the new generation.
Good afternoon. Welcome once again to this special edition, or it is the edition of the Wake Up Guyana News right here, Wake Up Guyana show rather. What's happening with us today? I think it's been a very busy morning. I've been doing one thing to the next. So welcome. It is October the 26th. It is October the 26th, 2020, and I must tell you, it is time to get the show on the road. The Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. So we are going to tell you within a few days it is going to be less than 2 months, or it's going to be just about 2 months before we hit it Christmas, actually Christmas and Boxing Day, and let's see what it's going to be. So in the meantime, we have many things to tell you. There's some sad news. A granny murdered, tied up in our West Bank home, found yesterday by a villager who had gone to the shop there. And in the meantime, of course, we're going to talk about tint. We're going to talk about so many other things that we want to talk about today. So, in the meantime, let me tell you, it has been a very long weekend. My leave is over. I'm not sure what kind of leave it was. Somebody asked me if my leave is over, and I told them I'm not sure whether I spent some leave or I took some time off during the day away from work because I was at work almost every single day, 7 days a week for the last couple of weeks here. And wasn't it a very good time? I must tell you that I really enjoyed it. I could not, for anything in the world, stay away from you guys. During that couple of weeks, we did take one day, and that one day was where I came back after that. And I did do a lot of things. I did some yard work. I did some medical checks. I did some work for Kaieteur. And of course, all in all, it was a very good time. So it's good to be back with you full time here, doing news work, doing so many other things, and being back in the newsroom today. It is going to be a very good time for us. So I want to say welcome to this edition here of the Wake Up Guyana show, and we are going to get right down into things. Uh, I understand this morning somebody was hauled off for playing a senior official, or a rather a very senior official within one of the major organization. I'm trying to get some details. He and his girlfriend was pulled off a flight because of an ongoing fraud investigation by Soko, I understand. We're now trying to develop that information. But in the meantime, at 1:30, we're hoping to start opening up the line just after the abouts, because many persons would have been calling about one thing or the other, including $25,000 cash grant. When is it going to come to the West Bank, and when is it going to come to the East Coast, Region 4, Region 5, and of course Region 10. So wherever you are today, we are trying to get some details as to that. This morning also, there was a swearing of the regional chairman and or chairs and the vice chairs of 9 regions. One region is absent because of the absence of voting taking place there. I think it's Region 8. Some persons there, they were tested positive for COVID. So that's held up the process in Region 8 with regards to the processing of the vice chair and the chair, or the elections rather. So we get right down into it for our largest selling newspaper, the Kaieteur newspaper today. And this is what the Sunday, October the 25th front page would have been saying. Protest erupts again at West Coast Berbice over Henry's Boys murder investigations. But it seems that it's taken a little long while, but that every weekend somebody says, well, during the couple weeks, we have some rogue elements gathering tires the days leading up to the weekend. And then on the weekend, they burn a few so they could collect some pocket change or some freck from the drivers on the road. As serious as funny as it sounds, it is a very serious message there. So they did block it, and the police and the joint services went quickly. This is in the Region 5, number 5 village in the West Coast, Berbice, same area where it was eruption last couple of weeks when 2 boys, 2 cousins were brutally murdered, chopped to death, and there's the killings spark outrage, and a few residents decided to block the road, asking for a speedy solving of the case, and then that evolved into something else, into criminals injecting themselves, robbing passengers in vehicles that were supposed to use that road, the West Coast Road, to head to Berbice or to come to Georgetown or to the Georgetown direction. Traffic up killed after slamming into park trailer. Very sad thing. Somebody on the east coast of Demerara there going down and slammed into a trailer over the weekend. Very young guy, and this is not something that you like to see, especially when it comes to our lawmen. This is not things or any fact. In fact, anything to do with people in Guyana losing our lives. The wastage of lives in Guyana is something that we should not tolerate. And of course, the Freezing of Guyana series continues. Let me see what it says. Kanji owners can bring government to renegotiate gas terms, but Guyana can't get them to get a better deal, or can't bring them to get a better deal. An indictment on the government? Well, that's what the story is saying here. The oil fiasco giveaway calls for an international investigation. That's what the front page comment is. Former President David Ramatar is reported to have said that he did not read what he signed when the petroleum agreement for the Kanji and Kaieteur blocks were presented to him for signatures. In times gone by, selling out one's country would be considered like a treason, and the guilty person having to pay the ultimate price. Former Natural Resources Minister Robert Prasad engaged in his clever petro distancing from Donald Ramatar and the agreement, and constructs his own spin to weave himself out of the Kanji and Kaieteur webs. Even though the agreement would have been drafted out of his ministry and under his direction as the political head of the ministry, as understood, Mr. Prasad positioned that he does not know the people with whom the Kanji and oil blocks were sold. Kaieteur news position is that he had a duty to inform himself. And of course, at the bottom here is a comparative story. Politicians stole more than 400 billion in oil money for Nigeria, while 95 million live in extreme poverty. And so these are stories, when you look at it, it really hurts your heart as to what are the possibilities for countries. And of course, today's newspaper, October the 26th, 2020, and I look at these dates here, and this year has really raced on by. It was raced on by taking with it. It seems in tandem, in a kind of a dance, a pandemic and elections 2020, and it was very grotesque. It was very, it's almost as if you're watching a horror movie, what this year would have played out to be. So, though accused of executing key witness in Kaieteur News grenade attack walk free, you recall this case of the killing of the taxi driver at Eccles. He was in the car with him and his wife and his child, and gunmen on motorcycle pulled alongside him and pumped bullets into him. He, in his dying moments, he did drive the car into the bikes. They abandoned the bikes and the gun and everything and fled. However, by the time that he was dead, you could recall that he was he was a key witness in the grenade attack in 2016. You could recall that it was our dear colleague within Kaieteur News here, our crime reporter, Leonard. He had died in June 2016, and there was a wake right next door to Kaieteur News, right in Charleston here, and. Vehicles parked in front, including mine and Glenn's and so on. And next thing you know, somebody said something was thrown, a vehicle slowed down through something when persons went to investigate security and so on. They saw something looking like a grenade, and everybody froze right there. The police were called in. It was later discovered to be a grenade which looked similar or was similar to what the army would be issuing to its members. And so the police would have picked up that grenade and later detonated there. Nobody, I think that there was a number of persons charged, but here the situation is this guy that died was the witness, key witness in this entire case. He knew who the players were according to the story that's coming out. And so, of course, two persons walk at this point in time. Interesting case. Let's see where it goes. Jack Deo's silence. Three things are obvious when we think of promises given by Guyana's Vice President by Jack Deo. Those three things do not speak well of him, either as a leader or as a citizen vowing to deliver on promises made. And so this thing is again regarding the oil. Both government, this government here as well as the previous government, would have come under scrutiny, a lot of criticisms over not enough actions to ensure that we get a better deal. When Jack Day was president, he stated he personally had to lead the charge to restart the Keldon sugar factory, then he would. When reminded later of that commitment, Mr. Jagdeo said he could not recall. And now that the PPP is back, Keldon Sugar Factory is being ready to resume operations. As leader of the opposition, Mr. Jagdeo said he supported an independent international investigation into the award of contracts for the Kanji and Kaieteur blocks. He swore that those who found guilty of wrongdoings would be jailed. He was all for that. Then today, when Mr. Jagdeo is reminded to where he once stood so loudly and firmly, he's strangely silent. And of course, more than 18 countries lost billions of dollars in revenues due to poor hydrocarbon counting systems. So what the story is saying here, as we produce our oil, we must have this proper accounting system. It's a special accounting system which allows you to track our oil that is taken up, that is pumped out to the point of sale, and then of course from there how payments are made and so on. This accounting system is very specific, is very expert to how you collect your money. So wherever you are today, I want to say to you, there's some other stories that we want to share with you. As of today, I think the investigations by Soko's continuing into Garcia Dominguez, and this is the gentleman who and his wife Atika Ishmael were charged with that allegedly with a large Ponzi scheme running in which 18,000 persons apparently signed up, and then he was slapped with several fraud charges before Soko went in, and they were in jail for several weeks before they were granted bail to the sum of $30 million, I understand, as was being reported. What we could tell you is that Soko stepped in and slapped charges of money laundering against the couple. And then Soko would have also raided their properties that they were renting, and they seized computers. So as of now, nothing seems to be going on. In the meantime, people are being left in limbo. There seems to be, where is the money? That's a big question. Where is the money? And why, if you have all intents of paying it, why not? There's a story here of an activist who sees house on fire while washing clothes. The activist, who happens to be one of the persons who filed a key case regarding persons of, let me see, the lesbian and gay community, rather. This person was one of the key persons that helped file a court case with regards to cross-dressing, and she was downstairs washing clothes when she looked up and saw her house on fire. And so several persons in the Georgetown area now are without a home after that fire yesterday scorched another house. Let me see what else. There's some other stories. A key meeting with CSEC Cape stakeholders today. Parents as well as teachers are meeting with the Ministry of Education today via Zoom to discuss on, I presume it's the reopening of school and what is going to happen to these students. And as you know, we are already to the end of October, so they need to get a move on it to decide how they're going to engage these students. Is it going to be virtually? What happened to those kids that don't have access to internet? So that's a story that we will continue to follow, whether there's any decisions taken there. Judgment and wrongful dismissal of second NBS managers still pending. This is years, almost a decade, since these people were fired from NBS, and they're still awaiting their payments, they're still awaiting the benefits, and they had to take NBS, a mortgage. NBS is a New Building Society, a mortgage financing facility, to court to get the benefits. And here's an interesting story. More than 30,000 Guyanese emigrate annually. This is according to a study. A U.S. entity would have done a study based using figures coming from the embassies, the local embassies, as well as officials in the United States. And they were able to draw it, making comparisons to what's happening in Canada. So this is an interesting story. More than 30. We have a country that is just over 700,000 persons. How do we maintain that 700,000 persons when you have more than 30,000 persons leaving annually? Well, we have more people coming in now. So let's see where that story goes. East Bank residents object to planned construction of oil waste treatment plant, storage warehouse. And these are the people within some high-income area, within the Peters Hall area, Republic Park, Nandi Park area, as well as Windsor Estate. They've learned that there is somewhere in the vicinity going to be a chemical plant, processing plant, as well as a storage facility. Two different projects within the area, and they are objecting. It says, there should be an impact study. There seems to be no requirement for it, so they're objecting because they said downwind and so on. These things here have impact, so they need to know. Chalkboards erected in several city wards. This is interesting here. Mendes, this is Andrew Mendes of the Farfana Mendes repute. He was chosen to receive a prestigious regional award. Well, he was recognized in Guyana because he could not attend that event that more likely would have been held in Trinidad, the Anthony Sagba Award. So that's interesting. It's good to see our business people being targeted for recognition. Government will only accept high-quality work of one Edgel Minister of Public Works. And of course, this is a Sheriff Mandela expansion project. Here is another Chinese project in trouble. And it seems as if I'm not sure where we're going to go forward. I hope that they will be very careful when it comes to ensuring that our people are taken for granted, that they're not taken for granted, and that there are millions of dollars that they're taking loans are protecting them as we go forward in this beautiful country of ours. And for those folks who would have been asking about lands and what the Ministry of Housing doing, Colin Crowell, Minister Colin Crowell of the Minister of Housing and Water, would have announced that NISIL, which is a government entity that has access to lands or is in charge of state lands, Guy Suko and the Lands and Survey are working with the ministry to identify lands in the different areas so that they could start the housing projects, the housing expansion. As we recall, there are more than 50,000 house lots and maybe homes that the ministry says within the next 5 years, it wants to develop and to hand over to the people of Guyana. And as you know, there are more than 60,000 applications on file. Guyana COVID-19 cases over 4,000, 3,000 to recover. This is a case, I know of one case that is so shocking. I'm going to tell you a little later about that. And here it is, Agri Minister Mustafa tells Guy Suko manager, change your attitude or be fired. I like this kind of language. This was after people would have gone and complained to him that he says, one manager after they went and tell him there's a problem with a piece of equipment, he said, let it broke. And so when we see things like this, you want to say, why are you still in that position? You should be fired right away. You should be fired right away. And so it is an issue that we have to deal with when it comes to our attitude of our senior officials, be it at Guy Suko, be it at any state agency, whether you go to GPO for birth certificate, whether you go for your passport, we must have the good attitude, service with a smile from these people. But when they tell you, let something block, apparently the minister was highly peeved by that. He told the managers during a recent meeting, get your act together or be fired. And these are the kind of languages that we need to hear from our ministers. So in a very short while, we are going to be joining you, telling you a little about what is happening, some other news we're going to be telling you. Let me see if I could be able to pull this up and tell you about that more. So on the west coast of Demerara, the west bank of Demerara, at Lagrange, the old road, somebody who's well known to the community there, and she is a grandmother, I understand, a businesswoman who would normally sell her a little shop downstairs, 86 years old, a Muslim, and you could see her with a khimar and so on there with a picture. And she was murdered yesterday. And here's a story. According to let me read to you what the police have sent out. Police are investigating an alleged murder committed on Bibi Ramjet, called Bibi. It's 86, a businesswoman of Lot 63, Old Lagrange, Old Road, West Bank, Demerara, which occurred on Sunday between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And the killers they haven't been able to identify the killers as yet, or killer. And the inquiries disclosed that the deceased lived alone in the two-story wooden and concrete structure where the upper flat is used as a living quarter and the lower flat houses a grocery shop. On Sunday, at about 15 hours, a farmer from Schoonard went to purchase Edos. She didn't have change of the $5,000, so he collected the Edos and told the deceased he would drop her money and went away. About 5 o'clock, he went back and he saw the shop door and the back door of the upper flat wide open. He called several times, got no response. He says that he told police that he proceeded to the upper flat where he looked into the bedroom and saw the woman lying motionless on her back with her feet and hands tied. He immediately raised an alarm and the police were summoned to the scene. And if you know, Old Road is not far from the Lagrange police station, just maybe a block or so. The police found that for any marks of violence, none were seen. Several persons were questioned. I'm not sure. Did she suffer a heart attack after being tied up? I'm not sure. But they said they found no signs of violence or marks of violence on her body. The lady was taken to the West Demerara Hospital, and she was pronounced dead by the doctor. So this is a very shocking case. I hope that they find her. Apparently, she's well known in that community there, and it's not something, we love our senior citizens, we love our grandmother, and when you see these people are fixtures within the community. When you see them die or pass away, you have good fond memories. And when you see persons growing up, these are not things that we would recall seeing on such a. If you see something like a murder happen or something, um, you would remember it for a long time. These kind of incidents, we have to start looking at some serious jail time for people who do this. Yes, we may not necessarily have a hanging at the moment, but what we could tell you is that we can't tolerate it like that. We have to start putting it that people are given stiff jail sentence when you do things like this. And so whoever it is, I hope that the police, I'm sure somewhere along the line that there's going to be a camera or two that's going to pick them up, and the police are going to solve this case, um, uh, uh, and get it over with, because it is somebody's relative, somebody's mom, somebody's grandmother, and maybe good folks, decent folks of Guyana. So we are coming up. It's 1:30 at the moment, and let me tell you, it's CARICOM General Insurance Company time. A better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company Inc. at 121 Regent and Arnock Street to better serve you. You can now purchase your insurance online for the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company Inc. And so, in the meantime, stand by. We are going to be joining you very shortly with our lines open. 6222222. We want you to send your text to that number, whatever is bothering you, whatever comments or whatever you want to say, or the lines we are going to open 226-7453.
The government of Guyana has begun the rollout of the COVID-19 $25,000 household cash grant. Citizens are being advised that there is no pre-registration requirement. Clearly identified distribution clerks under the supervision of the Ministry of Finance will visit the respective households to verify credentials. Following this exercise, distribution will be done on a house-to-house basis. In cases where there are multiple households in one home, only the principal householder will receive the cash grant in the first instance. However, the other householders will be required to provide their information on a pink form, and following verification, they will receive the cash grant. The $25,000 household cash grant is in keeping with the government's promise to provide economic relief during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes, so welcome back again to the Wake Up Guyana show here, and it's time to get into action. What we could tell you is October the 26th. Within a couple of days, it's going to be the end of the month, and it just would be then just about over a month, and it's the Christmas season, or rather, it will be Christmas and Boxing Day and so on. Do we have anything to celebrate? And before we go to the lines, let me tell you, it was a shocking case that has to do with a relative, with some family members of ours. And I can't tell you, I'm not even supposed to talk about it, but I like to, whenever I see things happen, whenever I see things that raise my eyebrows, I have to share it with you people. They say my mouth is, how would you say it? The old people would say your mouth tear, but Gildarie mouth tear. So let me tell you to you what happened. So this old guy in the yard, he was ailing for a little while. He died. So there's two set of old people living in the yard, and or senior citizens. Let's say the right thing. And so he was taken to the hospital. They brought him home, and he died. This other person, before he died, this other person who was ailing in the yard, he decided to, give a helping hand to the wife, the man's wife, changing his pampers and so on. A few days after that man died, he fell sick too. They took him to the hospital. He had breathing problems. They did, of course, they did a test at the Georgetown Hospital, and that test confirmed later on that he had COVID-19, which led by extension that the first person who died also had COVID-19. Everybody from that home has been taken, or they have been asked to do the COVID-19 test and maybe recall who they would have come in contact to as the authorities tried to do the trace. This second gentleman that was in the hospital, he died too. So two persons from one yard died right in Region 4. Happen to know both persons. Two very respectful gentlemen, two decent persons. But the fact is, the story that is coming out of that is what bothered me and what bothered the family or families is, we take things for granted. I think a little more. We should have been a little more careful there, and I did say that to the persons that we have to be very careful. Even let's assume that everybody has it. Everybody, every single person got the COVID-19, and therefore you have a right, you have an obligation, you're mandated to protect yourself because you're doing it not only for you. If you don't want to do it for you, do it for the people that are living in your house. Do it for your children. Do it for your wife. Do it for your husband. Do it for your friends, your colleague at work. My little brother says, I was speaking to him this morning, and he says, I have to do it because it's not only for my family, but it's also for the people that I work with. I have to protect them. I come in contact with people every single day. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything at this point in time that is going to put me at risk. So at the end of the day, again, when you look at the number of persons that have died, the number of persons that have been affected, and I think we did say to you it is over 4,000 persons now have tested positive since, yes, Guyana COVID-19 cases now over 4,000. 3,000 persons would have recovered, but the fact is 4,000 when you do the per capita for a country like Guyana, it's pretty high. Yes, when you look at Brazil and India and the United States, and so I think I was reading a number of European countries they've gone again. They have locked several places down again because there's a resurgence in the number of cases. Yet we're looking for all kinds of excuses. I did see a big business, and some persons are going to disagree with me. I did see some big businesses, including a movie theater up the east coast of Demerara there. They would have had a drive-in. Yes, you're seated in the cars, and you're watching and you're buying, and so it's good for business. But the fact is, every time that we take a little risk, these are what we've seen. And the sad thing about it is that our senior citizens are the ones who are paying. So let us stop right here now because it is your say. It's a Wake Up Guyana show. We coming to you live from our Saffron Street studio on 99.1 if you're in Essequibo or Demerara, or if you're in Berbice, it's 99.5. We also coming to you live stream on Kaieteur Radio Facebook or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. So it is 226-7453. I want to hear from you guys today. Do we have a call online already? Let us see in the meantime. Let us see. Persons did call me what's happening to Region 3 with regards to $25,000. We don't have a word yet from government. As soon as I get that word, I'm going to pass it on to you. They have not sent us those details as yet. So let us see what we have here from our people. Good day to you. I'm interested in learning more about Kaieteur Radio, of course. Thank you very much for that. Leonard, please ask Gildarie what's happening in water. There's no water in our tap since Friday. This is in the Williamsburg. I don't know Williamsburg quarantine. I'm going to send this to the Minister. Williamsburg quarantine. This is East Berbice. They're not even making an announcement of what is wrong. My kids haven't bathed or brushed their teeth for the day because our drums are empty. I have to go and buy food. I'm really, really sorry about this. This is really, really sad. I'm going to raise this thing here. I'm going to send a message to the minister so as we finish here. So are we in the West Coast, Berbice area, are of the distinct impression that protesters with public protections are organized robbers. And that could be a good conclusions too, that these are not necessarily the family members. These are people who just want to make some money. There could be no other explanation for it. Dear Mr. Gildarie, good afternoon. Vice President, up to the period before and after the election, used to give us weekly press conference. He is he's suddenly gone quiet. He needs to continue to speak to the nation. I hear you, dear, and we did say that. Good afternoon, Leonard. Keep up the good work. I want to know if you have any update for the person who lost their vehicles in the protests in the west coast of Berbice. I'm not sure whether they did say if there's going to be any help for the persons. I am interested in this story here. Maybe somebody could contact us and let us talk about what you would have lost, and maybe we carry a story and see how we could work backwards from there. Did anybody tell you about if you were supposed to get any help for losing your vehicle? Which ministry told you so, and how much did they say that they're going to give back to you? Is it in cash, in kind? What is it? So we need to have some details with regards to that. Do we have a call in line? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air? Go right ahead.
Hi, good day.
Yes. Good day. Could you take off your radio, please, for me?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sorry about that.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. And good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm so sorry to hear about the lady that gets robbed or murdered or something in her house, and then the two old people that passed too. Sorry to hear about all of that. It's so heartrending. But I have a problem. I really calling to tell you about this thing. Now, this young man, I'm telling you about a young man. This young man, he has his wife. He has a baby. He has to pay house rent. He lost his job. So he have a vehicle. And he decided to go and run the vehicle as much well to get something, because you can understand what is happening in the house. So now one day the police hold him, this last week. The police hold him and tell him about tent. He didn't say anything. They take him to the station. They take off his tent and what have you. They had him whole day there. All he can explain himself, but after thing really, really tight. So I'm really trying to get little money as much as I buy little milk for my baby, Pampers for my baby. And anyhow, they had him whole day there. They charge him and send him away. Now, the other day, the very police had...
Where is this? Name the police station. Where is this?
In Brickdam.
Brickdam Police Station. Do you
Yeah.
have a name for the cop?
No. I don't know name or anything for the police, but I'm just saying what they're doing to people on the road, suffering. Now, the boy passing again, they stop him again, they take him into the station.
What
They
is
say
the accusation against him again?
It's like the tint. They take off the tint, but they charge you. Right? Now, the following day, the other partner now, one stand aside and the other one come up now, stop this poor boy again, tell anybody the logo on the car, which we know that it's a private car, right? But he just trying to get something because thing really bad. He got to pay for his car, he got to mind his baby, he got to pay his rent, and all the other stuff, And they charge it again. So now they charge it 2 days in success. What this young man must do? Tell me, this thing's driving this young man so crazy that he can go face court, he ain't got money, he can't work, and all this thing, Oh, they can't do poor people this thing. They can't do poor people this thing. It's very heart-rending.
So has he been charged already? Has he gone to court?
Well, he got to go to court next week.
Okay.
Next week he got to go to court. They're charging him just like the body. Where he can find money for all these things?
I don't know what to say. Maybe they could probably go to have a chat with the commander. I'm not sure. We can't get involved with how the police do it. We could only highlight the matter.
Oh, my God. And all you can beg them, eh?
No,
if you got money, you don't know way.
I hear you. All right, Pop, I think I would advise you to probably ask him to probably go talk to the commander. Maybe, the police is supposed to serve. Maybe there could be something that could be done. All right?
Okay. And one more thing, please. About, this is Diamond. We living in Diamond. You have any idea when they will come around to give us our subsidy?
No, no idea at all. No idea at all. They haven't said anything with regions 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 10.
Okay.
I'm gonna, as soon as I get any idea, I'm gonna try to get them. I think they don't want to do several regions at one time, especially the big regions. But of course, people are
Okay.
waiting. I'm gonna keep you posted, though. Thank you, right?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for listening to
Thank
me.
you very much.
All right. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. And you know, everybody has something. Things bother people. It's very tough times. Hi, Leonard. On behalf of the residents, kindly see what could be done with water at Gangaram Settlement, East Kanji Bobis. The water from the pipelines are very rusty for years and not hygienic for drinking or cooking. The residents have to go to Adelphi village for drinking water. Thank you. I'm going to also send this to, this is coming from Rubina. I'm going to send this to the minister. This is Gangaram village, Gangaram settlement. East Kanji. I'm going to send this to the minister, let them look into it. In the meantime, wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing today, make sure that you mask up and make sure that you sanitize your hand. Ensure, I'm seeing too many vehicles, people in minibuses and people in private hire cars and so on, even drivers without a mask. I will continue as normal, as if it's not that time, and this comes even as we are learning that there's a resurgence in the cases in the Region 1 area, in that border area with Venezuela, and an entire community there, Cubana, has gone on a lockdown 2 weeks because in a small community where it's just a matter of less than 1,000 persons. You have already 50 cases as well as 2 deaths. So that is really, really worried. So wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, I want to say a good day to you. Whether you're in your kitchen, if you're cooking, I hope that you don't burn the pot, that you keep yourself very hydrated. It's very hot out there, and I know that we are all struggling, but have a positive attitude in whatever that is that you're doing, whether you're in a classroom with a teacher. And it's a funny thing listening to the kids every single day. My little son is almost very, very late. He says, "Oh, they're piling me up with the homework," and I smile. Said he had a very long holiday, but let us see. He says, "I'm not getting time to do my studies because they give me a lot of homework." I said, "Think about the kids who don't have access to the internet." So maybe I'm a little harsh there with him, but it is, you got to be practical of that. Leonard Gildarie, did you get your cash grant? No, I did not. I'm not sure, but when it comes, I have plans to give it away. I'm going to find a way of doing it. I'm a MMG agent. Friday afternoon, I received a call from a female claiming that that I'm the force lady requesting. Let me see. Okay, there's a person warning that MMG, if you receive that if you have MMG with the one thing and somebody call you about doing any kind of transfer or any kind of things, be very, very careful. A lot of people are trying all kind of thing to make you transfer your money, and so do not do anything that is going to put you in a jeopardy there. Good afternoon. I'm the father of a son who commenced studies at Kellen High School. The grade 7 teachers have commenced online teaching, which I appreciate. However, the teachers are using different platforms to teach. One uses WhatsApp, the other one uses Google Classroom, and the other one uses Edmodo. Classes are also taught via Zoom. My concern is that my son will have to use my computer, which will conflict with me as I use it in the execution of my job duties. The teachers do not consult parents. At least I was not consulted on these methods of teaching. I also communicated with the head teacher via messenger, but there was no response. You have to call them. You have to get a little aggressive there because, yes, I did notice some teachers use WhatsApp. Some of them are using Zoom. There's another one that is using some Google Meet. I'm not sure what is Google Meet. And then I learned the other day over the weekend after the kid had a homework and they had to send back the homework to the teacher. And he was using some program called Edmodo. I think it is Edmodo or something. It sounds a little crazy. I didn't pay much attention. But it is confusing the hell out of me. So these are stories that we need to tell, and I'm going to continue to bring it out there. I think the Ministry of Education promised to come on the program last week, but they got caught up with a number of meetings. So I'm going to ask them to come back again. Hi, good afternoon, Leonard. I'd like the Minister of Public Security or President to investigate some zone supervisor and the manager of every week we keep hearing this thing here from about this and more caliber. You guys need to go into caliber and complain to them. If you don't complain to them, you need to go into the Ministry of Labor and complain to them. Why you're not complaining to them what is happening? Because um, uh, it's not the Minister of Public Security. There's a Minister of Labor. What's happening there? You need to give me more information here. I see somebody would be calling us and complaining and telling us what's happening. So it's 6222222. I don't want you to call us on that number. That number cannot take any video call, any kind of WhatsApp call, or any kind of calls. It's only there for the messages for the people. And of course, 226-7452. You tune into the Wake Up Guyana show. Do we have another caller at the moment? So yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, please.
Go right ahead.
I'm calling from the East Bank.
East Bank, yes.
Yes, please.
I hear the Falcock in the background.
Yes, please. It's true in there.
Yes.
This is Wake Up Guyana.
It is the Wake Up Guyana show, and I think the Falcock does wake us up.
Okay, please. Yes, I have a thought here, please. Are you hearing me, please?
Yes, you go ahead. We'll be hearing you loud and clear.
I am facing a little experience in here, right? Now I'm calling from Sierra Johanna, East Bank, right? And where I am living here, right? I'm living here for a long time already. And we experiencing a land problem here. Now, there's a lot of people living here in Sierra Johanna. And there is a man who owns, said and claim what we doesn't know. He say he owned the land. So we don't know really if he owned the land or not. Are you hearing me, please?
Yes, we hear in the Sierra Johanna. I'm familiar with that issue there. That issue, I think, is engaging the government. I think they said they're looking to resolve it. It has been simmering for a little while.
Yes, please.
All right. I think some government folks got involved with that. What did they say, and how, and where's the matter at the moment?
Okay. This is the reason why I called, because I'm interested to I highly appreciate it to know if the owner indeed own this land or not, because a lot of people living here, they're also farming here and so.
I could tell you, I'm going to try to get it, because this matter came up a couple of years back after there was some standoff between residents and the people who claiming to own the land. The residents have been saying that they've been living there for years now, and that maybe there's some prescriptive rights situation that is going to be giving them some kind of protection. I think this recent ones, the government had stepped in and says that they are going to look into the matter. I'm not sure. I think looking into the matter means that they'd have to determine who is the owner and how maybe there could be a settlement or something along the way. I'm going to have to find out and get back to you as to that, as to where that situation is.
We are highly appreciated what you're saying. And we're glad if you could serve us there, mister.
Yes, I'm going to look into it. I'm going to talk to the persons. I think I can't remember who it is who was looking into that matter, but I am going to ask, and maybe I could probably bring it up during the show and tell you guys what is happening there.
Okay, please. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. So that is a resident from the Sierra Johanna, and there's somewhere in the land of Canaan area on the east bank of Demerara. That has been a matter for several years now, which a number of citizens were living. They started squatting there, and this happened years ago, more than a decade. Some of them have been living there. And so the people, real people for the land is there now, and they want to throw them off, and they want to develop that place. It's a big land, and along the east bank there, land has become a very valuable thing for the owners. And it is coming to a head. I think there was an official there who went a government official who said that the matter is engaged in the attention. So I'm going to get some details as to where that is. I would like to know, if the government can consider the people at Blackbush Polar. We have no phone lines or internet, especially at this time of the pandemic, which is hard for teachers and children. Yes, I saw GT&T. Strange enough, this is something I had to smile this weekend. GT&T put out an announcement that it has chosen a guy named some Ferguson to become they're changing up the whole team and so on. So they put him in a specialist position there that has to do with marketing and public relations and so on. They want to change the whole format. I like that. I like those kind of things. And this would have come after the government lifted the liberalization, or they would have liberalized the telecoms to allow other players to come in. There is a page on Facebook with a GT&T, and people start complaining after they said that they're going to Berbice, and people says, what happened to other areas? And GT&T was right there trying to engage the people and apologizing profusely. For all the years that I know myself, I've never seen GT&T apologize the way that it apologized this weekend. So when this person is talking here from Blackbush Polo, there is going to be other companies. As to whether it's going to be overnight or so, we'd have to start paying attention or try to put more pressure to ensure that this thing happens sooner than later. But it is not going to happen overnight. It's something that we have to live with. It's one of the sins, or this is one of the things that we'd have to deal with, because the authorities or maybe the regulators were not strict on one company which has decided that it was going to rape Guyana, literally rape Guyana, and this is where we're at right now. And so, as persons here are asking if you could talk to somebody to help with some relief about our vehicles that got destroyed in the riots. I'm going to raise this issue here too, maybe talk to the PM. I haven't been able to get him for a little while, but let us see what happens here before we go to the lines. Hi, good afternoon. We, the public servants, are still on a hold for a salary in Region 6. Region 6 salary? How is that? Right, because Region 6 salaries. It is October the 26th. Is this the salaries for October? When is it for? Could you give me some more details? If it is for last month, it is for this month here. Good afternoon, Gildarie. I'm interested in one of the tablets for my children. Okay, I'm going to have to... Okay. I'm not sure whether I have any more tablets. I'm going to... Okay, could you go back to another caller? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You on the air?
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Yes, it is, sir. Go right ahead.
Okay, my problem is yesterday morning was Sunday, and on the East Bank Road, there was something happening. No, it's not nice, Hello?
Yes, we listen to you.
Yesterday morning around 9:30, there was 4 police officers on the road, one by Prospect. By Prospect there with the speed gun, and one at 2 of them at Little Diamond, where the stoplight there, where the stoplight is, on the western side of the Kaieteur. Now, it's something very disrespectful to the law of Guyana, because yesterday morning there was a horse race with cars on the road, and the traffic was so heavy.
No, go back again. Let me see if I get you. Yesterday, police were on the road in the Diamond area there?
By Prospect.
Prospect, good.
And Little Diamond, where the stoplight is, where it's not working.
Right.
2 was there with speed gun, and 2 was at Prospect with speed gun. Now, there was 2 horse cart, with a set of people racing on the road on the eastern carriageway.
Heading, right? That would be heading south.
That's right, heading south.
In front of the police officers.
That's right, sorry. And, it's very disrespectful to know the traffic was so heavy, and the horse was gallop with the gray car, began racing. Now, the police just turned him back, focus on the vehicle them coming from north to south to see who coming with speed, and the others on the western side carriage heading, watching on the southern side to see who coming down. They're not checking on the gray cars them to see what's going on, And now you tell me in the name of God, if those gray cars or those horses lose control What do you think would have happened on the road with those vehicles? You know, and now I'm a driver. I was driving at the same time. I had to be a distance and just watch. And now you have some guys with a motorcycles. People telling them, man, what's really going on? Now these guys on the motorcycle started cursing me. You know.
Well, you know the reason why the police would not be paying attention to that, and they're good police and they're bad police, is because the horses cannot pay bribes. But you don't understand this thing, you know.
Okay, fine. But who's controlling the horse? Not the horse controlling itself. Someone's controlling the horse.
I'm just being a little funny there, but
I understand what you mean.
It is sickening, and I wish that somebody had taken videos of this thing here. I had a good policeman last week on this show here. I'm going to say good policeman. What he has said to us, I think he struck the right notes. He said the right thing, and this is the commander for Region 3. And I wish they were more like him who could probably talk, that I have an open door policy, this is what I'm doing.
I understand what it means. You know, but it's not nice to know. Now, we have, as you want, we have developed tourism is going out. You believe if the tourists come and see what's going on here, you believe they come to Guyana? No. We are chasing tourism from our country. No, that's the main highway, the main road leading from into Georgetown and out of Georgetown to Mary, and that's what's going on. On a Sunday morning, and the road is busy with traffic, heading from north to south, you know?
It is. I hear what you're saying there. I'm going to raise this matter again with the commander. I think there's a new commander in that area there, and let us see whether he could tell us anything that is, that we could hear. But what you're saying there, I think if citizens are really paying attention, normal man in the street, nobody really pays attention because they believe this happens every day. What could I say to that policeman? And when I see policemen being treated as if, as if they're kings, but as if people are scared to tell them something, I don't be scared. Yeah. I'm not scared. And I say whatever comes to do. I mean, I'm a very rude person when I get ready to. So let's see where I go. I thank you very much for that. I'm going to see what I could do.
Okay, sir. Thank you. You have a blessed
God bless you. So that's very, very shocking. If policemen are standing there on the road and seeing horse cart on the other side and yet clocking cars that is coming, that is speeding from the other side, well, that's I pass. And the man is right. The man is very, very right there. So that's not something that we want to see from our people. Let me see. So do we have any other callers there right now that we could get onto? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
No, I'm calling concerning man at Diamond here, man.
What happened with Diamond?
Where I live, right?
Uh-huh.
You got a man at the back of me.
Where is this that you live in?
In Diamond, 17th Street.
17th Street, yes.
For the amount of years I live here, right? I live nearly 15 years. And this man got some 3-star more than I think.
Did you talk to the NDC?
Yes.
And what the NDC says?
And the NDC said they cannot do nothing. The trees, the leaves falling on top of my roof, which is destroying my roof because it falling within the groove.
Well, why don't you stand up on your roof and just cut it down?
No, I told the man, they trim the tree them, but he don't want to trim them. He don't want to do nothing. And when they clean the yard, they throw everything in the drain. And then when I clean fish, shrimps, anything is in the drain, I'm throw them.
Well, I want to tell you something. I got neighbors like that, so I don't know what to do with them. I think I'm taking the trees and the leaves and everything that come over to my yard and throw it over in their yard back again. You got to start taking some drastic action. Yeah, they can get upset with you. But if I was you, and I cut down my neighbor tree that was hanging over my thing, I didn't give a damn. I jumped up, put up the ladder, went up on top of the roof, and I took a cutlass and I chopped it because it's over in my gutter, and whenever the gutter is packed up, it's going to cause flooding.
No, when I tell the man gets annoyed over the situation.
No, he's being a bully, man. You got to chop it down and let it think what he's going to do.
I went to the NDC. The NDC said that is Grove size. The head office in Grove Diamond NDC there by the station. And so I got to see somebody over here.
Well, I'm not sure because if the thing is in his yard, there's very little. All I could tell you is that whatever is hanging over you, you would chop it down. That's all I could tell you. I mean, we got to start. I mean, we look at the neighbors and so on. Sometimes we're scared. I had a bothersome neighbor. Let me tell you what happened. He used to cuss everybody, all the women that he saw in the neighborhood and so. And they're listening, they're probably listening right now because they like the program. And he used to behave bad, and I got tired of him because I didn't want to fight. Remember, I'm in the media. And
Yeah.
I can't fight and things like that. I might pick up a word and I might get upset. Um, and I went to the police after he decided to stop my car in the middle of the road in the night and had a knife in his hand. I went to the police and complained. When the police came for him, he beat up the police. Well, he ripped off the police thing and things like that. They scrambled with him. They took him to court one time. He come back, he started cussing again. I did it 4 times, and every time they fined him, then he realized that I am not going to stop. I continue to do it. But that's one thing. He stopped right now. He's very, very good. He's protecting the neighborhood now. But the point what I'm trying to say, I am not going to stand by and allow you to do everybody that and do me that, and I'm not going to say anything. Maybe sometime you got to put your foot down. And yes, I was a little scared at that time too.
No, the other problem I got now is that I'm a sick man. I went to the hospital.
Mm.
And now them, man, I'm sick nearly for 12 years. And now them going to tell me, man, that I had a kidney failure. I had into a kidney failure.
Mm-hmm.
That I got to do dialysis or I got to get somebody to donate a kidney to me.
Uh-huh.
So I asked them, where am I going to, then quoting the prices and telling me which place to go to the dialysis. And so I tell them, I can't afford it because I'm a pensioner. Where am I going to get those money?
That's a big problem. Anytime you get that heart problems and kidneys and things like that, I know of rich people. There was a former commissioner of police, Larry Lewis. You know the name?
Mm-hmm.
Larry Lewis had problems with his kidneys, and he died almost like a broken man, I was told, because of the cost of that thing there. Now, that's not going to put you in a good mood or maybe give you any kind of support. But I have to tell you, it's not going to be very easy. What I could tell you to do, you got to try to balance yourself in as little as you can in terms of your what you're eating and things like that. But it's a very expensive something. I'm not sure how much the state is going to give. You probably need to contact one to the place, the Georgetown Public Hospital, and they're going to guide you through the process how you could get some help there.
They already tell me what to eat and what to eat. So cut off a lot of things from eating.
But contact the Georgetown Public Hospital or even the Diamond Hospital, and they have something there.
I'm in the Georgetown Hospital clinic.
But it's very little. You see, when you could think you could only pray that, you know, that thing. But kidneys are a big issue. It's a big, big issue. It's a very expensive treatment. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Zir. This is the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. And let me tell you, it is time for... it is that time there for the CARICOM insurance. And a better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Arnock Streets. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. So right about now, let me tell you, there's some other callers here. Hold on. Good afternoon, Leonard. I have a grave concern. I believe many other Guyanese are having, but I haven't heard them speak about. I've applied for a house lot allocation since 2012, and many others have before me. I was given a letter and told that since then to wait on a call from the Ministry of Housing. I have on periodic occasions inquired and was told that they haven't reached the section I'm in and the allocation of a house lot. I have been quite patient and trusted in the process and law to run its course. However, I'm dismayed and angry that the persons... Let me see. This is... this was... I think... Okay, they were complaining. Everybody has a right... and the person is talking about the squatting here. Yes, I understand everybody has a right to obtain a piece of land, but the precedence that is being set it is saying to the law-abiding citizen that unless you are lawless and can riot and protest, only then will you get the government's attention. How can this be fair to all persons who have gone through the correct procedures in trying to obtain a piece of land? And the person also said, today I went to visit Chinese hardware store in Broad Street. I was about to enter. The guy there told me I could only enter wearing a mask. I told him I'm wearing a mask, which is one of those masks with the air filters for better breathing. He said that the Chinese owner said I could only enter if I wear their mask that they have for people entering their businesses. My question is this a new COVID-19 stipulation? Does the Chinese entrepreneurs have the power to enforce upon the Guyanese people whatever rules they want to, or do they comply with our rules? I feel like an outsider in my own country. I don't know what to say to you, dear, but what I could tell you is that I would not go back there if it's indeed that they're forcing you to wear their mask. If you have on a mask, you have on a mask. So let's see what happens. Is there a call online?
The government of Guyana is committed to a comprehensive and inclusive housing development program for the benefit of all Guyanese. This is evident from its actions to date. However, the previous administration did absolutely nothing to identify alternative lands to house the persons squatting on state-owned lands on the east coast of Demerara. This illegal act was politically motivated, and poor and vulnerable individuals and families are being callously exploited for political purpose and private profiteering. Those lands have been identified for immediate and substantial cane cultivation by the Guyana Sugar Corporation. The information collected shows many of the squatters have proven to be homeowners, and yet the government has made every effort to engage the squatters and seek an amicable solution. Persons are being reminded that it is a criminal offense to illegally occupy state-owned land. The government cannot and will not allow squatting to be used as a means of acquiring land for housing. The government's offer to provide immediate, safe, temporary alternative accommodation to those persons in need remains in place.
Thank you very much, and welcome back there to the Wake Up Guyana show. And we must pay the bills. So, from time to time, a lot of people have been calling us, asking us to advertise on the Wake Up Guyana show here. We welcome that, but of course, we are going to continue listening to our people. I'd like to talk to you about something in the St. Cuthbert's Mission area, so you guys know how to call me there. We could talk about it. Hi, we're still not getting proper water in Hazelton, East Coast Demerara. That pressure low for the past 3 months. I did pass this over to the ministry. I'm going to pass it over back to them again. Leonard, the father of the night, let me see, of the night. Leonard, the father of the 19-year-old who was murdered in West Berbice, lied to investigate. He pretended that his son went to steal coconut. He was fully aware. He was fully aware of his son death because of a decomposed body started after 72 hours. I'd love to know when the police will visit the boy fathers for the fake protest. There's a way that's the way used for misleading the public. Well, I'm not sure. That is the police have to do their job, and there's so many theories that are coming out from this shocking crime. 2 cousins brutally chopped to death. What was the message being sent there? There's so many things that are going through my head. Good afternoon. The law says that the combines cannot drive on the public road because the said roads are being damaged and all the documents of the said machine are enforced. So what about when the protesters are damaging with fire and robbing people? Good question, good point. Hi, Mr. Gildarie. Are we going to get this COVID cash grant on a regular basis? No, it's a one-time off. Guyana can't afford it. At least is what the authorities are saying. This is just to get you by until the country starts to pick up. All over the world, countries are struggling. I think right across the Caribbean, and so they're really struggling to get by. People are starving. People are being thrown out of their apartments in the places that they're renting. I think what the government has said here that in addition to this, they are going to give 90,000 plus families hampers. As to when they'll start, well, immediately after they would have finished the sharing out of the $25,000. Good afternoon, sir. I saw the schoolyard and Tusha and his bank has covered weed. But the person who weed the grass, weed this year, put the grass close to the school is pretty grass. I'm not sure what it means, what they're saying here. Good day, happy birthday. Well, somebody says happy birthday to Zayn and Zayden. Greetings coming from Babito. Well, let me tell you who Zayn and Zayden. They happen to be the grandson of Glenn Lal and Mrs. Bean Lal. And of course, Tishana's Lal's and Frank Sanchara's children. They're twin. And if I think Frank, the dad, is going to tell you they're like police cops and they're like soldiers, and I know these kids they're really cute kids, and you see them and your heart goes out to them. You want to play with them, you want to hug them. So I want to say good day to these two beautiful children. I hope that you have tons of fun, and I know knowing that the folks who are around you is going to be tons of fun for you. But be safe, folks, until we see you. Hi, good day. I would like to say good morning to my loving mom. Well, no, I'm not sure. I think this is this morning too. In the meantime, let's go back to the line 226-7453. 226-7453. Good afternoon, caller on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Could you turn the volume of your radio down, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a law for any tree that grow and come over you side. You got a law for it. I know about it.
Yes.
And the NDC are not doing the work. I'm telling you over and over this thing again. These people always sit up and collect money under false pretense of the government. These people got to go and tell them the whole tree got to chop down or what. Me mother, when she gonna plant a tree, one mango leave, not even the over the people I had. Then bring the police. I went to the NDC and bring the police. The police tell me, mother, you got to cut down. Now mine in a day over. We cut it down. You know what I did? Do to him? I go bring the same policeman. And I say, you come and tell us to cut it. Now I want what you see. He said, I live for a tree hang. They cut a hard tree over. They go have a tree over. Mr. Valley start cut one time. And he had to cut it down.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So there's a law. The law is passed in Parliament that you cannot grow tree so close to people, so much away from your fence. Look, I live a CIA. And I had to cut down the coconut tree take our neighbor. Because the coconut tree really not bury. You understand me?
Yes.
So the branch it deviate and damage it deviate. And here, this coconut tree along, you go put an antenna right near on coconut tree. And you say, story you want to make?
Well, they got a lot of people like that in Guyana. You know how much people more than other people for land and property and this and that?
When the story break out, they may tell how you interfere with TV and broke them up. That way, me don't cut down the coconut tree.
Mm-hmm.
Me avoid no tree. Me army tree them, but there's a law. You can go and get a policeman, NDC. Has to come. The sanitary, you know the sanitary?
Uh-huh.
He has, or she has to come. And next thing again, we have a man lives not too far from here, complain me. He went to do a plan for his house. He get a lot right in this area. And the plan, the NDC people are charged $35,000. And outside, the byward $20,000. The man do the thing. And when he came for them sign and pass it, the girl not turn up to work. They use this thing as cover. But let me tell you something. If she don't want to do this work, the government should fire she. You understand what I'm saying?
That's what we've been talking about. People got to be very serious when they have the job to do.
Like Irfan and Barjak, they're not control now. The people that vote for them, they're not control.
No, but you know, to be fair there, let me tell you something. You have supervisors, you have managers, you have foremen. You have so many people down the line there. What are they doing? What are they sitting down doing in the office? What happened to the chairperson?
The man wants to get everything Friday, forget. At the bank, they don't talk to the bank can bring a plan. You get a loan for billions because if you don't want your zone before Christmas, say come moving. So this one I asked him, why you get through? He said, why? You go call him now. No, she, the NDC person living me here, tell me he talked to her, and she used COVID. So that means, how long COVID is she got drive money and not going to sign nobody people? You think that is fair? Look, let me tell you something. I don't know. If me was the president, vice president, whoever, I dismiss them. They have to go to work, whether 2 or 3 days a week. There are people, things they're in there to sign.
Mm-hmm.
And look, let me tell you something. I said nonsense going on now. That's why the protocol, that's why the president now come out and talk. The president must come and on the TV station and put out number that people can call him and give him this complaint. Not come and give update with COVA and what you do and what you not do. Listen to people, price man. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you don't do that, brother, let me tell you something. It's helter-skelter. Because people, when the next election comes, the last time when they vote for Ramata around, our next thing again, Ramata say, hello, this country, and this way. Barjage, somebody for you. He said somebody. Robert Passad. He tell you something. I'll let them call and get jail. Like how you got all the people in Fuji come there. Because let me tell you something. Ramata Mika remember this thing good. That's what I mean about the last election when he letting, He said that you go walk to my money, why you want money. He just put a platform and talk to brother. Nobody can doubt or be see that when he thing there. That is kind of people and they put Barjage force him to become president. That's why he lose a last election and then people is, I've been a lose, but the things run.
All right, I hear you with that, and I'm going to address that.
And I noticed that this morning I wake up, I see I get water in the bathroom, and I get to the sink of the kitchen.
But something is happening. I think they said some well or something they had to fix, because I send these messages out to these people. At the end of the day, I sit down and I send these things
I know
out to them.
I know you do a lot of things, but I thank God, and I may hope that when he comes tomorrow and I get water again.
Well, I don't know how to control that. All right. I thank you very much for that.
Man. You get water, you sink, your tank full up, you got to resolve. You understand me?
Yes, well, water is essential. Water. It's part of your rights. All right, so thank you very much, dear sir. God bless you. Water is essential. A lot of people said they could do without light and so on, but they can't do without the water, because that is so many things that you got to do. Lady up in Burbies there, Williamsburg, are complaining there that there's no water. The kids can't even bathe or brush their teeth because the barrel is empty, and they're asking. I'm going to send that. Hi, Leonard. Good afternoon. I have a question for you. How do persons who serve in the GNS get a document that shows that they served the country? Thank you very much. I think you'd have to make contact with, I think maybe the Guyana Legionnaires, which is part of the army and so on. I think maybe from there, I think they could probably advise you where to go. The Guyana Legionnaires, I think that is on Carifest Avenue there. That's what I'd like to know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm right. I'm not. I'm going to have to find out. Hi, Leonard. Good afternoon. The people who were given out the 25,000 was in Albion area yesterday. However, they didn't finish all the house. Just a few left. So I'd like to know if they will come back. They have to come back. It's a house. Listen to me. This $25,000 is supposed to go to every household in Guyana, every house that you have in Guyana. And by the way, I hear something, and I'm going to tell you guys what I heard. And I know it for a fact because I happen to know somebody, or I was told somebody's name, and I'm trying to find out if they did it. And although they happen to be somebody that I would have had respect for, me and them are going to go up the road because they could have been something. But let me tell you, when it comes to the $25,000, it's every house that they're supposed to go to, and they're supposed to give it to the household, the person who's in charge of that household. If there are other families that are living there, they would have them fill out a form, and then the NDC or somebody is going to verify, and they would come back as long as they say that you're a separate family, give you another $25,000. So it's every house, and if they finish for the day, they would have to come back and complete. So don't be worried, they have to come back. And if you see they didn't come back, call the NDC and make sure that the thing. You guys got to take numbers, send me pictures who these people are coming to the house so we could be able to do it. Now back to what I said. I did receive a call that families are separating themselves. We would have feared it. We would have heard about it. We heard persons talking about it, and we never could have believed it. The fact is, when it comes to money, people are always going to do all kinds of crazy things, and they're going to be desperate enough to try all kind of fraud. And it is wrong when you have families splitting up themselves deliberately, going to another house, an empty house, stay there, and then take a $25,000, and leave the wife at another house and take a $25,000. I received some reports that's what families are doing. And if you know of anyone who have done that and you have the proof, send them to us. I'm going to send it to the Ministry of Finance or whatever, and let us take the numbers of where they're living. Let us get the name or the call name if you don't know the correct name. Send it to us and let us send it back to them. Send us with its street numbers. So text it and let me forward it to the people, because it meant or it means that a family that could have benefited from the $25,000 probably is going to be short. So this is what it means. So let's go back to the lines. Good afternoon, caller, on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, good evening. I got to get on to Gildarie.
Yes, you are in the air right now. You're speaking to Gildarie. Go right ahead.
Gildarie, I'd like to ask you a question, okay?
Uh-huh.
I was in St. Colbert Mission, and yes, and I would like to know why people who born in there and they live in, why they have to pay $200 every time they're coming out from in the St. Colbert Mission.
You mean $200 to who?
Huh?
To who are you paying that?
They're paying it. They got a toll, they got a gate, like a thing. They're stopping there, and people collecting money, and people who living in there. I living outside. I come back and I went in there to visit. Okay, and everybody who living in there, they asked me that they said they need somebody like to talk about it, that to come up with it, because nobody really doing nothing in there. Every time they come out, they have to pay $200.
Well, obviously somebody is running this this kind of operation, collecting the money. Are you aware whether the Tushao who's in charge of that mission there, whether the Tushao is aware of it?
I remember, I don't really know, but I went in there last Sunday, sit down with other people, and they told me that, I told them when I come out, I will call Kaieteur News, and I will put it on air and let them get to know about it, because if there's 100 people come out that got business in there, and every time they come out, they have to pay $200.
Well, I'm not sure what's the reason, if it's a decision by the village, because, each one of those communities that is run by Tushaos, they have their own kind of regulations, how they manage themselves there. I can't begin. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get Mr. Schumann and some others there and try to find out whether it's a decision that's been taken there. And if so, what was the reason for that? Because I don't think even the government could interfere with it. If they decide to stop you from going into the village, they have a right, because they are being run by the Tushaos and a management, I think a management committee there. Every one of those Amerindian settlements or so, they could refuse. In fact, they got lands they could allow, or they could refuse anybody from mining or logging within the concessions that they have. They have a lot of rights in this country.
Yeah, I understand that. And then the next point now, Mr. Gildarie, while I was in there, there are some people told me when I go in there that, I have to get back out to the village right away. They say, you stop at the station. When we stop at the St. Colbert police station with the taxi, the car will carry in, and I can put it to you that in here that there's a cowboy station, because when we stopped there, they didn't have a police in there. And that was daytime, like 2:33, and no police was in there.
Is that an outpost, a police station? What is it?
It's a police station. They got a station for St. Colbert.
I'm going to try to find it. I'm going to try talking to Mr. Schumann.
Yeah.
And let him give me some ideas what it could have been, or put me on to somebody who could probably talk to us about that. All right?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gildarie. So anytime we're talking to you, and I thank you very much for that, man. I know everybody, I like your show, man. Every day I enjoy it. The things what you do, man, you do a lot of things that you put it over to the minister and our body, and just get into it and looking about it. And I appreciate you, man. You're doing a good job. And you and Ms. Uncle Glenlal, thank you very much for a good show y'all have, man. Kaieteur News.
Thank you very much for that, sir. Have a pleasant rest of the day.
Right.
And I did talk to Mr. Yog Mahadi over the weekend. Dr. Yog Mahadi, how are you doing, sir? He says he's a little busy, and he says to tell the people hello. And he also says, when are you going to come on? Because, the people are asking for you. He says, man, tell them that I am a little busy right now, and soon. So let us see what happens. I'm going to bring him on and have a chat with him. So, his mouth is big. But I think he would have trained Gildarie a little too. So Gildarie mouth is big too. And it is good when there is people could acknowledge that, they're seeing some, when they raise issues here, that we could be able to raise it elsewhere, and you're seeing resolutions to those matters that are being raised. Good afternoon. Concerned about the money sharing in Albion here. The people came back all this morning to continue sharing the money. Thank you very much to the good folks there. It looks as if a lot of people are listening and making sure that we getting facts right, because they are keeping us up to date. So thank you very much for that. So wherever you are in 3 counties, I want to say good day. If you're on your combine, or whether you are on your tractor or your excavator, we got people all doing business. and doing whatever they got to do, whether you're in the factories, whether you're in the store, and at home, sitting in the hammock rocking and you're enjoying the breeze, or you're wondering what's going to happen next. Let me give you some heart. Just make sure that you look forward. Let's see light at the end of the tunnel. Do not give up hope. It's times that you see things that are very, very tough. Put your head up. You have life. You have another day to live. I could remember one time I moved out of my mom's home with about $4,000. I slept on the floor for a year. I was coming to work, and not one of the staff knew that I was renting. I had a smile on my face, and I lived like that for a couple of years until I decided one day enough is enough. I wanted a house lot, so I filled it, and I called their finale every single day. Sent him a text. I said, "Boss, don't forget me, a house lot, a house lot." Till they got fed up after a couple of months, and they said, "Please come in." When I went there, and that is how they were able to process it. This is back since the 2010 time. So, at the end of the day, it started, and then when I actually got a house lot, that's a story I want to tell you for another day. I didn't have money to pay for it, and then when I got the money to pay for it, I didn't have money to build, and I didn't even have the capital, that percentage that you'd have to pay, 20% that you'd have to find to show that you had the money. Had good friends around the place, and when I actually built the house, I couldn't even pay my mortgage properly. So I could tell you, I've been there, done that. When you see me sit here, and I could empathize. I'm not empathizing because I'm sitting here. I understand it. I understand what it's like to be hungry. I understand what it's like to watch the neighbor, and they're a little more privileged than I am, and they're a little better dressed than I am, and they're getting help from some family. I know what it's like to be without, or to wear hand-me-downs, or maybe somebody else's clothes. I know all about that. So let's not be ashamed. This is all part of life. We have life. Let's fight. And every day that you could do it. I saw somebody say this morning, and I wanted to share this with you people, that they say sometimes in life, 8 hours is not going to cut it. Yes, it's important that you spend time with your family, but it depends on your values. What is it that you want in life? How far you're willing to go for it? I work some days 16, 18 hours, because when I leave here, I have to go downstairs, have a meeting with the staffers and my publisher in a very short while. That's what we do. We have to probably go write some stories. Then there's other things to do. There's so many things I have to probably edit sometime along during the week, a couple of days. You have to do it. It's part of your duties. So when you believe you have it tough, there's some other persons out there who got it tough, and it's not as easy. But I want to say to you, have a heart. Make sure that you don't give up. Don't give up. I want to see our people, the fighting Guyanese, that they have the heart of a warrior. And the women there, I know some women are more stronger than men, and by far, all due respect to the men there. When you see what they would have put up with, and the things that they how to protect the family, and the way that they would want to put those energies towards, let me see how I could grab a few here and there. All due respect to the women of Guyana. You ladies are the people who are also the heroes, without looking into the area of whether it's right, the feminine thing. So let us, do not give up hope. Have a heart. Is there a call online? Well, we take a break now, and then we're going to be back with you shortly. Just stand by. More calls.
The government of Guyana has begun the rollout of the COVID-19 $25,000 household cash grant. Citizens are being advised that there is no pre-registration requirement. Clearly identified distribution clerks under the supervision of the Ministry of Finance will visit the respective households to verify credentials. Following this exercise, distribution will be done on a house-to-house basis. In cases where there are multiple households in one home, only the principal householder will receive the cash grant in the first instance. However, the other householders will be required to provide their information on a pink form, and following verification, they will receive the cash grant. The $25,000 household cash grant is in keeping with the government's promise to provide economic relief during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Weak systems of governance and the absence of the rule of law both combine to form the perfect stage for corruption to flourish. As part of our anti-corruption fight at Kaieteur Radio, we invite you to join us every Tuesday evening from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. as we embark on a most needed quest to remove the tentacles of corruption from our systems. See you then for our latest program called Governance, Corruption, and Justice.
So good day, welcome back again to the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. I want to say good day to Gina Singh and the rest of the folks. Gina is one of our viewers from overseas who normally tune in every day when she has a break and then she says back to work. I have to cut out and leave you guys. Want to say to the daughter, I think is Anne Barkley. If I got the name wrong, just bear up with me a little. Celebrating her birthday today. Don't normally do that, but let me say a happy birthday to the little kid. So wherever you are, have a pleasant rest of the day. So in the meantime, it is 62222. We want to see those messages being sent to that, or 226-7453. So you could call that and you could be able to raise some of the issues that you have. 226-7453. Do you have a call online? Yes. Good afternoon, caller on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello, Widow. Oh, good day.
Yes, good day, sir. Go right ahead.
Yeah, it's concerning an incident that took place about over 10 months now, man. 10 months. Involving a city constable and I, were involved in a case there. They attempted to arrest me, for a simple larceny case, and I resisted the arrest,
You resisted the arrest. Who attempted to arrest you? City council?
City constable.
Yes.
Constable. Yeah, and I resisted the arrest, I attempted to resist the arrest, and that guy dealt me some, you're fighting, the man dealt me some severe blows in my head. So I went to the police station to report the matter, and they were very hesitant to address the matter. They were very hesitant to move against the guy. Time after time, about 6 times I went there. They did not.
Which police station is this?
Skeldon. Skeldon police station. This is where the incident took place. So I came to the Wim police station. I reported the matter. They said that is not their jurisdiction. So they cannot really address that matter. I even went to the public social protection ministry of Skelava, base of Skeldon there, and reported the matter. They didn't really they didn't overlook the case, overlook the matter. I went to the police complaint authority in Amsterdam and reported the matter there. The officer there gave me a slip with the name of an officer from a Wim police station, directly to Wim police station. When I got there, the police at the Wim police station, they gave me a slip with the name of the officer in charge of Skeldon, the Skeldon station there. They just get me moving me around like a puppet.
I want you to do me a favor. I'm not sure how you deal with cases like this, but there is one way if you're so intent of having some justice in this particular in this case here. I think the police are supposed to take your complaint that there was an abuse by another arm, a judicial arm, or another law enforcement arm. And if the police does not take your or they're not treating with your matter in the right manner, I think that is a case for the Police Complaints Authority. Have you tried there?
Yeah, I tried there.
That is before Justice Ramlal?
Excuse me?
Before Justice Ramlal?
I don't know. No, I don't suppose so. A guy of an African
that is by the 2 cannons at the Gildarie there?
No, not Evelyn, New Amsterdam.
New Amsterdam, okay. Yeah. And what happened?
The officer there gave me a slip with the name of an officer from directed me. He referred me to an officer at Wim police station. Now, when I got there, the officer now gave me a slip with the name of the officer in charge of Skeldon. He referred me to Skeldon station, the Skeldon police station. And when I got there, the people refused to address my case. They don't want to. They don't pay attention to me. They just, in fact, they say I'm a madman. Really, I'm a crazy man. I decided to pursue this matter because it's a very serious matter. And if I just take this matter lying down like this, then they would have, they would have more right to see me as a madman. Really.
No, no, no. I think every citizen has a right. Look, but if you don't think, Mr. Justice, former judge, Mr. William Ramlal, is the head of the Police Complaints Authority, and whenever I talk to him, he's a very engaging fellow. What I would suggest that you do, if you believe that you're not getting the kind of attention for this matter up in Berbice here, feel free to, when you in Georgetown, to visit him. He's in that area there between the two cannons at Evelary, next to the U.S. Embassy. You could have a visit with him there, or if you happen to have a telephone and a directory, call the Police Complaints Authority, speak with him, tell him that you spoke with me, and that you want this matter here. You believe that the police should handle it.
Okay, sir.
And let me know how that goes, okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
And I hope that you get some kind of resolution to that matter.
I'm hoping so too, sir.
God bless you.
You too.
Yes. So a good day to all the folks down in Berbice there, to the Blackbush Polder, to the way all the way to Skeldon, Crabwood Creek, Wim, Albion, wherever you are, Kanji. I want to say good day, Port Moran, to Rose Hall. I want to say good day to you all the way across to the west coast of Demerara, Mahaika, Maikoni. I want to say good day to you from Kaieteur Radio, all the folks down here from Kaieteur Radio, Kaieteur News. Mr. Glenn Lyle and the rest of the folks want you to have a pleasant day, a safe day, a COVID-free day. So whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that you wear those masks. Do not wear it. Do not wear it under your chin. You might as well not wear anything. Put it over your nose. Make sure that you stay a safe distance, 6 feet at least apart. If you want to drink your beers, pick up the rum or the beers, go home and do that. Do not go to the bars and do that. You don't need to do that. You don't need to take those things. Yes, if you want to have some friends, you could do video call if you have internet or something. Let's have some virtual drinking going on there. Do not go to the bars. You need to protect yourself. So very quickly, let's see if you have some other messages. Hi, good day, Leonard. I heard your caller discussing an issue regarding kidney. So I strongly suggest you bring a urologist on your show to discuss the issue of prostate health that leads to kidney failure. Leonard, many men cannot urinate when they go to the bathroom, but they're so embarrassed to discuss the problem with their wives and seek early medical attention. Would you believe there are so many men suffering and not seeking medical advice, and then it's too late, the kidneys are damaged because they're retaining too much urine in their bladder? So in conclusion, if the communist Chinese demand a mask for their own choice when you wish to purchase the counterfeit, then open your stores and stop complaining. I love my country in spite of the negatives. I wish the best for the next generation. I'm 65 and will be home soon. May Allah continue to bless Guyana and their leaders. And of course, this is coming from Derek as always. He's been somewhere in the Middle East and has been between the U.S. and the Middle East there and always tuned into the show. Good day to you, sir, wherever you are. So very quickly, let me see if there's another thing. Sir, there are two small girls that need to get control. They walk late into the night on the road. There are two sisters that live with their grandparents that don't hear. They call the grandparents and they're 11 and 12. Could you tell me if there's anyone who can get control over them? Yes, very, very clear. Child Care and Protection Agency. Anne Green is a very serious woman there. You get hold of that child care. It's the Ministry of Human Services. If you call there, they're going to give you a number for the Child Care and Protection Agency. It's right in Broad Street around the corner from us there. Got to bring a telephone directory and make sure that sometimes I could share these numbers with you. But they could, if you have, you see kids who are doing things that might not necessarily be the right thing to do, you could always call the Child Care Protection Agency, and there are several things that they could intervene, and they could give counseling. They could even take them away to, if the authorities believe that the kids could be a danger to themselves and could be putting themselves in positions for abuse, among other things. So let me see. Yes, for October, it's the 26th already. So in the meantime, it's 226-7453 right here on Kaieteur Radio. Go ahead, call you on the air. Yes, good afternoon, call you on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
I would normally listen to your program. You're doing a great job. I would just like to talk about the call earlier on went to St. Cuthbert on Sunday. I think he did not get the true concept of the gate. I am from St. Cuthbert. The gate is basically a COVID-19 gate.
The gate is what?
A COVID-19 gate.
Oh, it's a COVID-19 gate.
The
Yes.
purpose of the gate is to do trace, like trace where the parties from the community goes. It's a trace gate as far as I'm concerned. You register, you pay $200. The $200 is basically to give the guys who volunteer there a stipend. I think it's $1,000 a day. You get two of them there. And I know people been complaining a lot about the $200, but from my point of view, I'm seeing that in knowing where they're going, you can have a good idea if anyone should be infected with the corona, that you can know exactly where they come from or where they went. So I know there are always pros and cons in communities. I'm from there. I'm a businessman in there. Some people would just travel to Tuesday or even to Jarton to just fill a prescription just because they want to come to town. And I have a pharmacy in there, and they could make use of that service. And those are the people who complain all the time, who want to do things freely,
yes, the communities have a right to administer to themselves.
So what the guy was saying earlier, he did not get the true concept of the game.
Right.
So and then it's a community which is run by a Tisho and a village council, and they have the right to say whether somebody could come to the community during this particular period of the pandemic, or whether they could deny you from entering there. And I was glad that he could have got there without getting any hassle.
Well, I agree with you that the communities have a thing there. Let's see what happens. But I'm going to get some clarity as to how these communities are supposed to be operating. What I was told is that these communities under the council and the Tushas, and so they have some rights and they have some powers. And I don't think there's, and not even the Minister of Amerindian Affairs could stop them from doing it. And so it's a how you say it, a prerogative of that particular council or that particular community that they would have to be able to do some things like that. If you decide to put a fee for entering or for leaving, it is your right to do that.
Exactly.
But I'm going to get some clarity on it. I don't know. I'm talking the top of my head here right now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I just because I listen to your program all the time.
Yes,
as long as I'm in my car, I will listen to your program all the time. And you're doing a great job. You're highlighting a lot of stuff that I was not aware of. I've learned so much, and keep the good work up.
God bless you. And you calling all the way from you calling all the way from St. Cuthbert's Mission here?
No.
Okay.
I'm a tuition right now.
Yes.
So I'm calling you from my car. I'm a tuition. I come to do something here.
No problem, though. Yes.
I in St. Cuthbert. I also have a farm at St. Cuthbert. I am from St. Cuthbert.
All right, got you very clear. Thank you very much, dear sir. Have a pleasant rest of the day. Yes. Thank you very much. So I want to say good day to the folks there, to our Amerindian brothers and sisters. And I did see a farmer or a medically complaining this weekend here that they were on the seawall. And you know, I don't beat around with things like that. She was there with her family and friends and so on. And some persons were being very racial towards her. They did use the word buck and things like that. I think it because it's we say it, and sometimes we got to be very we got to be very strict about these things, or put our foot down and say this is not something that we want to tolerate. At the end of the day, when we see people being like that, we got to think. And she went screaming at them. She did write it up and so on, says, you know, She was very emotional about it, and I said, you have a right to defend yourself when people are saying things about you and your family, especially when they're being racist. And racist is something we don't need you people in Guyana. If you want to go live elsewhere, but we are loving people and we love each other. We'd sit and play a game of domino. We would sit and play a game of cards. We shop together. We go to the movies together. We eat a hot dog together. Whatever it is that we do, we are loving people. So let us be positive with it. This is coming from on our Facebook page, Vorno Dukan. Hi, good afternoon, Leonard. I'm a Canadian citizen trying to remigrate to Guyana for the past 10 years, spending only some summer months in Canada. I have a problem where I'm living in Guyana with the NDC who seem not to like me because I'm plain spoken when I see biasness. Everywhere in Guyana, I see people planting flowers and vegetables on the sidewalk in front of the house. When I do the same one, the chairman for the Better Hope NDC is sending hooligan-type people to tell me to remove my flowers from the sidewalk in front of my house. I need some help because I feel threatened. Please help me because I do not know where to go for help. I would like to tell my story to the ministers who are in charge. Yes, you need to call the Minister of Local Government, or even I think the Minister of Local Government might be willing to look into something like this, because I don't see an issue of people, if you want to beautify the neighborhood around you, the parapet in front of you, but you cannot block the road or anything. It should not be on the reserves. If you're doing something to the reserves and the reserves belong to the state or to the council or is a responsibility of the council, then you should seek permission. So there's an issue there. So just let us get that right. So with regards to you telling the ministers, the Minister of Local Government, Nigel Darmlal, should get hold of his office, get a telephone directory, and see how you could probably talk to him or one of his folks down there, and let him look into that, okay? So thank you very much for that person from Better Hope there. In the meantime, I think with regards to St. Cuthbert, the $200 that they're saying that they're charging at the entrance or to leave, there's a community of the Mahaica River area there, miles up, and it's a community, it's an Amerindian community there. So let me see if there's any other messages before we go back to the line. Okay. Good afternoon, Leonard. Ken locked in from the Netherlands. Keep up the good work, sir. Thank you very much, Ken, from the Netherlands, all the way from the Netherlands. We have people from all over the world locked into this program here. Good afternoon, Gildarie. You guys need to highlight this issue whereby they're building these chemical storage warehouse, etc., for the oil and gas industry in residential neighborhoods. EP and the housing and planning are approving projects that can harm people. It's the same with John Finance Limited behind the Gildarie housing scheme. This will hurt people's health and bring down the prices of their properties. Yes, there's a story there of residents now doing a petition to object to these development on the east bank of Demerara to a chemical plant and a storage facility that has to do with the oil and gas going right next to communities. And the people are saying they're objecting to the fact that the EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency, does not require environmental impact assessment, the EIA. And so the people say, no, you come in here, and there's a whole bunch of things that's so very wrong here. So they're asking for some kind of intervention from the authorities. So it's 226-7453, 226-7453. You're tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show. Do we have a call in line? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Yes, Leonard. The man that talk about the police got you from station to station, there is like an everyday story with those police. The lady that they report that her daughter was being missing from Brighton Park, and so they got the lady from this station to that station. That is the attitude of these locations. What is the right thing really supposed to happen about it? If something happened at whim, and they got you down, go to 50-something, up and down, if you have to pay taxi, is not something easy, it's costly. What would you suggest to anybody like me? If I in a problem like that, where must I go to really?
You're right, and I think every community now should have the numbers of the commander. I think the commanders would normally give out their number because they shouldn't be hiding anything. These are not people to hide. And whenever they have issues like this, so you got to behave bad. You guys got to understand you have so much powers now. Let us stop being scared of people in authority. we should understand that they're there to serve. And when we start understanding that, it's going to be so much better, because instead of people making you feel, sir, as if they're doing you a favor, let them know that you're there because they're supposed to be representing you. Let them know that. Let them be very clear with that.
My brother, is really disgusting to a human being. Thank you very much, man.
I hear you. Thank you very much. And so this is something we talked about it so many times, and here we again talking about it. People complaining that I'm not sure why is it that the police are so thick. I'm going to have to ask maybe the advisor to the minister, or even bring the minister. I know that things are easing up now. I'm going to have to ask Harry Gill or somebody to come on board here. I did speak to Mr. Captain Jerry Gildarie the other day, and I know that, he has been an advisor, security advisor for the government. And let me bring them on and have a chat with them. Let me see if there's anything that they're advising the government to do with regards to uplifting every single year, every 5 years we hear it. I'm going to do so much. There's a new commissioner that comes in. I'm going to do so much to increase or to raise the profile of the police. And we're going to engage communities. We're going to bring in community policing to help fight crime. And you see the same bunch of people over and over doing the same thing. And 20 years later, we are back at square one. The police being GPL, GT&T remaining top of the list of the things and people that the citizens dislike, and they're complaining so badly about. I think NIS would have been another one that was a nightmare for people, and they're trying to engage right now. But at the end of the day, this is not what citizens expect. They expect things to improve, and improve dramatically. We're moving into the oil and gas, or we have moved into that. And where are we from 5 years back? Are we in any better position? Yes, pandemic is here. Yes, we're dealing with a very serious situation. Yes, we've come out of the elections period, which was a very brutal, traumatic 5 months. We have a government that has gone in there. Should we be happy? Should we give them any more honeymoon? Those are some of the questions that we have to ask. However, it is time now to wrap up. I want to say good day to everybody who have joined us here on Kaieteur Radio. It has always been a pleasure, and there's a lot of love coming from our people. And we are going to be back with you tomorrow, same place, same time, to talk to you about what is happening and how we should move this country forward. What are some of the solutions likely? What is it that, we are all a think tank here, and we have smart people in this country. They have an idea what needs to be done, and so we are going to continue discussing that. As always, it's been a pleasure. You could also get us here. We've been coming to you live from our studio in Saffron Street on 99.1 in Esquimalt and Demerara, and of course in Berbice it's 99.5. If you've missed the show, we have you also on Facebook. It is Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. It's been a pleasure. I'm Leonard Gildarie, and you were tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show. So wherever you are, have a pleasant rest of the day. Stay safe until we see you and hear from you again tomorrow.
COVID-19 tips sponsored by Dex Soap. 1. Practice social distancing. 2. Wear your mask when leaving the house. 3. Wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds using our Dex Soap. 4. Cover your nose and mouth with a disposable tissue, or flex elbow when you cough or sneeze. Choose Dex Soap for that extra cleanliness. Dex Soap is affordable and available nationwide.